Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Battlefield again, but not Battlefield 2042. We're all aware of the state that game is currently in, the development behind the game, and how it was never really designed to be a proper Battlefield game. And whether or not you're enjoying it, could vary from person to person. But honestly, I think the opinion of the community on the whole, or the general opinion of the community, is that it is a flaming pile of dog turd, which has led many of the community to hopping back onto games like Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, which was, even as I saw, I think it was yesterday or the day before, Battlefield 5 was getting close to actually surpassing Battlefield 2042 as far as player population is concerned. So that's interesting. So we're going to talk about if it's worth jumping back on these games, player population, and how many people are actually on there, what game modes can you get on, and the state of them really here in 2021. But first, today's video is brought to you by Primetekmart.com, where you can save money on software like Windows 10 Pro licenses for under $25. They've also got Windows 10 Home for under $20, and now Windows 11 Pro you can grab over on Primetekmart.com. They've also got Office 2019 and the new Office 2021. And if you want to save an additional 20% at checkout on Windows 10 or any other software, go ahead and click Buy It Now, and during the checkout process, go ahead and put JP20 in and apply that coupon, and that'll give you 20% off of any software that you happen to pick up over there. So for Windows 10 Pro, you can see it dropped our price down from $24.46 to under $20. So be sure to hit up the links down in the description below, and don't forget to use my coupon code JP20 at checkout for an additional 20% off. So over the past couple of days, I had reinstalled BF1 and BF5, two Battlefield games, which honestly I didn't really spend a ton of time on during their life cycles before the launch of Battlefield 2042. Battlefield 1 kind of bothered me a lot in terms of the way the weapon loadouts were done, and there really wasn't a lot of customization as far as that is concerned. And the medic class in particular, which I personally prefer to play a medic. I like to run around fast, get into a lot of engagements, and be able to self-heal and get back in there quickly. And I also like being a team player and healing teammates and reviving teammates as they need to be. So that's my typical play style in a Battlefield game, unless I'm in a vehicle on certain game modes. If I have a friend to play with, I usually will like to get into a tank or an APC, half-track, whatever, and do some squad play like that. And in which case, in that scenario, I'll play an engineer. But if I'm running and gunning and just trying to rack up kills and push objectives, I'll pretty much be playing a fast-paced medics, which is why I didn't really like Battlefield 1, is because the medic weapons, in my personal opinion, weren't that great. Most of them, or if not all of them, were semi-automatic or very slow firing. So not really, fast like SMGs or something like that, like in Battlefield 5 and previous Battlefield titles, where you would usually have an assault-style weapon or SMG or something along those lines for the meta class. And I understand there's limitations there in Battlefield 1, it being that it's set in World War I and there wasn't a ton of those types of weapons, but they're in the game anyway, but you just don't really have access to them in the meta class, so that kind of made it useless to me and just not overall very fun to play. And that's still the case here in 2021, but the gameplay is solid though. It's very smooth. I mean, both of these games pretty much playing on DX11, getting a locked 120 frames per second more or less, at 4K maxed out on a 3080 Ti. So the games run smooth as baby shit. Just real smooth, real slick, slicker than Jeff Bezos' head. And so in regards to performance, that kind of stuff, the games are just extremely polished now at this point in terms of any bugs or glitches or whatever. And I'm sure there might be some hardcore members of the community out there that can probably point to some bug or glitch or something that's never been fixed. Honestly, I'm not that super informed on BF1 and BF5 and all the intricacies of it. I'm just talking about fun factor and how many people are actually playing this game. Jumping into the server browser on Battlefield 5, get a look at what kind of game modes are actually still popping. You can actually jump in and play at any given time. It's 8 o'clock right now on a Wednesday morning, so things may change, but from what I can tell is there's basically only a few game modes you can play, mainly Conquest, Team Deathmatch and Breakthrough are really the only ones that are populated. But there's still a ton of people on here, so if you don't mind playing Conquest, which I'm not a huge fan of, except on Operation Metro or Operation Underground, which is in this game. But as you can see, if you go search Rush, it's just completely dead. And I have set things like the free slots to show, like, if it's a full server, 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 10 plus, or all being an empty server, so not really interested in seeing an empty server. So if you want to play Rush, you probably really won't be able to. But Team Deathmatch, there's a good handful of populated servers here with decent ping for me on the East Coast here in America. I'm guessing, yeah, okay, these are German servers. And the ping, under 100, not too bad, honestly. Also, no domination, at least that I could find at this time of day anyway, in the middle of the week. Conquest, though, definitely takes the prize. There's several Conquest servers going with more than enough population, I would say, to make it worth either, reinstalling the game or picking it up on the cheap if you can get a deal. And Breakthrough also is decently popular, and it's very similar to Rush. So if you really want to play Rush and you can't get into a Rush game on this, then, Breakthrough does serve as a good intermediary between Conquest and that. It's similar to Rush, but, you don't capture the objectives one at a time. You have to hold, like, the 2 points before it'll advance into the next area. So it did seem like there's probably more people right now on Battlefield 5 versus Battlefield 1, but it's close. And I would say on BF1, it's really more so just Conquest and Team Deathmatch. And then on BF5, I would say that that's the winner between the two. So if you don't have something like EA Play where you get, basically free access to these games, and if you don't already own them, and you're thinking about picking up one or the other, I would lean towards Battlefield 5 for a couple of reasons. Number one, like I pointed out before, I like to play the meta class, and on the meta class in Battlefield 5, you get access to lots of SMGs like the Type 100, MP28, MP40, Grease Gun, various SMGs like that. So for me, in my play style, I enjoyed Battlefield 5 more than BF1, and I also enjoy the setting of World War II, and it's got, I think both of them have Operation Metro, if I'm not mistaken, but it's called Operation Underground in BF5, and it's got that, so that's always nice. I've always been a huge fan of the Operation Metro map, even though the one in Battlefield 5 is probably my least favorite iteration. It's gorgeous looking. I just don't like the changes to the layout of the map. I don't really feel like it flows as well as in games like BF3 and BF4, where it was left mostly unchanged. There were some new alleyways and pathways opened up in BF4 with the updated version of that, but for the most part, it was very much unchanged, just a couple of extra access routes. But on Battlefield 5, it's completely different, especially around the B capture point. So not my favorite iteration, but it's nice to have it there and being able to hop on it. If they actually on 2042, I would love to see them do, my friend was actually mentioned this the other day, my friend Kurt, if they did a remaster of the Metro maps in 2042's engine and then just did a Metro playlist where it just played the various different iterations, the 3 or 4 iterations they have of Operation Metro, we would play that all day. We would just absolutely cane it. So my recommendation is if you're looking to get one of these, I'd go for Battlefield 5 because of, for my playstyle anyway, the meta class I think is better. There's more, it seems to be more people on Battlefield 5 and a few different modes actually having people on them. Conquest, Team Deathmatch, Breakthrough being the main 3, and several servers populated, particularly in Europe and Germany. That seems to be where most of the servers are concentrated. In Battlefield 5, and I had a good time playing it, jumping on some TDM, and maybe do some, and I might do some Breakthrough later. I haven't really played too much of the Pacific Island DLC, but it looks really, really good. So that would be my suggestion, and probably better off playing these games versus 2042 right now, because it's kind of sad to say, but going back to like BF3, BF4-ish kind of days, the most polished Battlefield game was always whatever the last one was. And of course, BF3, BF4 are both very polished, but not anywhere near as many people or server options available like BF5 on those games now. Although you can definitely still find games. You could still find a decent amount of matches on BF3, BF4. Even Bad Company 2, there's still a few servers kicking around, like Valparaiso, Rush 24/7 and all that, so you could still even hop on those, but you can play those on 2042 now, which is nice, but it just has all the issues that kind of come along with that game, and the server browser sucks, so there's a lot of issues with 2042. But yeah, I would say BF5 is definitely worth going back to or picking up if you haven't really played it up until this point. So I'm going to go ahead and hop on out of here. Hope you guys all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time for another video.